See, here's the thing. I don't care who you are, where you come from, or what kind of gamer you think you are. Right now, at this exact moment, is absolutely the greatest time in history to love video games. Period. Umbrella Fight.
It's bigger. It's better. It's too much for everyone in the audience. Welcome, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, to the Umbrella Fight Podcast. The one and only home where you can be absolutely sure we are going to talk about video games. God, that theme song makes me go all invisible oranges.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? Like y'all, hold up some invisible oranges in front of your like shoulders right here.
Orange
Tell
juice.
me that doesn't make you like, ooh, this is metal. Ooh, yeah.
You want to like crush something.
Squeeze them, just like
Whoa.
crush the oranges with your intensity. Welcome, everybody. Man, it has been 14 days too long since we've had a podcast. And I got to tell you guys, I am absolutely stoked to be back on the air. Thank you so much for joining us. Regal Fire, I see you in chat. Hollow Attorney, I see you as well. Devin, John, how are you guys? How the heck are you?
Man,
Don't all
I'm
talk at
feeling
once.
good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm happy to fight some umbrellas. I'm happy to
Let's
fight
do
them
this.
alongside
Put up
you
your
guys.
dukes. I love that.
I'm excited. We've got some big things to talk about tonight.
Do
sure
we
do.
ever? We've got some stirring in the video game sphere.
Yes,
And,
we do.
Before we do that, though, guys, what do you say we get down on the collective quench?
Let's go.
Oh, I got to reach down and grab this because today I'm drinking some non-static water.
Yeah, samesies.
Good, good. All right, everybody, lift them.
Fresh.
Make sure you have a cup or mug or glass, a tank or chalice or sign, a canteen, jug or flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I like water today. Lift them up high. Say it loud. Say it proud. Umbrella Fight. Our circle tight. We shine together in the night with laughter loud and spirits in sync. Raise up your glass, and now we drink.
We drink.
Oh man, that hit the spot. I didn't realize I was dehydrated, guys. Turns out you gotta hydrate.
You never
Got to
do.
remember.
Muy importante. All right. So now that we're all cozy, comfy, our audience is here. Love that you guys are already in chat. That really made me stoked. Let's go ahead and talk about some video games.
Yes.
Who wants to kick off the conversation? I can, but I feel weird doing it as the host. So.
My topic is short-lived unless it spins off to something crazy because there's not much to talk about.
Oh no, that's either a good or a bad thing.
Well, it's just that the news doesn't have very much information to talk about. So I don't know if you know, Nathan, but Nintendo gave us some new information. Did you see the Nintendo news?
If you're referring to a remake of some kind,
Yeah.
yep.
I wonder about
Yep.
what game. What game are they
What-
remaking, Mr. Devin?
What game could they be making?
Could
Yeah,
it be? Could it be?
Could it be?
Could it be
The
the
Oot?
Oot
The
itself?
Oot
Could
is
Could it
getting-
be that? Do.
Dude, okay. Okay,
Dude, just those three notes. Just
John,
those three
dude,
notes
dude,
make me
dude.
go like, ooh.
Whoa. John watched it live whenever
Yep.
I saw the news. My cousin messaged me at work and he John's he's on a call and I'm watching this video and I have the sound playing and he just hears doo 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 and then and he
Dude,
just
I literally-
looks at me. Yeah, he just dude, neck just snapped over. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yep.
Like this
I
is
saw-
this is happening.
I saw Devin's live reaction. It was pretty awesome.
Dude, I was
Yep.
freaking out. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of lost it for probably about 30 minutes.
No doubt.
I was very excited, but that's realistically all we know. There's
Can
nothing
I
else
can
to
I
it.
geek out?
Yes. Yes.
Here it goes, guys. This is the motherfucking Zelda game to remake. Hands down, bar none, it changed video games. I don't care what anybody says. If you're under the age of X number of years old, insert age here that sounds way younger than I probably should say. It doesn't matter. Whatever you think about this game, oh, it wasn't that good. You have nostalgia rose-colored glasses. You are wrong. This game was a bombshell when it came out. I couldn't put it down. It was so good, and it still is good. And I have some thoughts about this particular game over the years that, you know, it's not an open world game, and that's okay. I'm actually like leaning towards linear lately, although
Same.
you wouldn't know it with what I started playing again recently, but nevertheless, Ocarina of Time is absolutely one of the best choices they could have made. I've been wondering where the heck they've been. Why are you not doing that? The only other game I could say that would go above this, or I would say even just say neck and neck, because above, they're not even really the same type of game. If they decided to remaster or remake Super Mario 64.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Nintendo only. Bloodborne, of course. I want to see a remake of that for sure. But Super Mario 64, I'd pass out. It would be like game changing. But Ocarina of Time is going to be so amazing. I cannot wait to see what they pull out. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with it, man. I am on the hype train. I go, wow, like the I put a Switch 2 in my Amazon cart the day it announced.
I
didn't buy it yet.
witnessed that happen.
That's the meme, isn't it? This is the game that will get all of the old millennials to buy a Switch 2.
It makes me so mad. So like I had this conversation with my nephew, my mom, so grandma, and my nephew, gave me a ring and was like, hey, Christian is wanting to buy a Switch, like see if he should get a Switch 2. Like he has a Switch, but he wants to get a Switch 2. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like that's awesome. They're kind of, expensive, but is there like a game that you're wanting to play? And so he told me the game he was wanting to play. And I was like, hey man, like you can buy that for the Switch 1 and it's totally fine. Like you don't need to buy a whole new console for that. And you'll be able to play it no problem. Like there's not going to be an issue. And then when when the time comes, maybe a game's exclusive and you want to buy it, then you can look at purchasing a Switch too. I was like, but it's like almost $500. You're gonna be spending $500 on this console for a game that's not exclusive to it, right? I was like, so don't maybe save your money, bro. The next day, it was the next day, the Ocarina of Time came out. I'm like, wow, there's the one game for me. Like I've held off on the Switch 2, and I'm like, there's not really anything that's like really pulling my attention. And man, they did it, dude. Yeah, those 3 notes cooked.
I cannot believe just those 3 notes send shivers down my spine.
And
they're
it's crazy that
nostalgic.
They know. Like they know that.
Oh, absolutely.
So like it was crazy because like I just like I heard it. And I looked at Devin immediately because I knew what that meant. Like there was no dialogue. There was no like.
Yeah, he couldn't even hardly see the phone. He just
I just heard and it wasn't even like a thought. I knew immediately that meant Ocarina of Time.
Yep, absolutely.
I knew.
Insane. Huge news.
And that soundtrack.
I have to say, as someone who's never played Zelda, I might have to check this out. Like, I think I owe it to myself.
You do.
I think you do. If you're going to start with a Zelda game, you have a choice, I think, when you're branching out to either do a 2D or a 3D Zelda. And if you're going to do a 3D Zelda, this is the one to do. Hands down. Like, I love Breath of the Wild. I think it's an astounding achievement.
Yeah. Agreed.
It was Nintendo's foray into what Skyrim had already done, frankly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not new in the grand scheme of things. It's new for Nintendo, perhaps, but
definitely new for the Zelda series.
Definitely new for the Zelda series. But I can't overstate how awesome I think Ocarina of Time is. when I was when would this have been? This would have been what, 1998, 96 when it came out.
Yeah.
So I was 10 when this hit the shelves, and it was transcendent. It is transcendent, John, because you've never played a Zelda and you know what those 3 notes are. Okay.
Yep.
Dude,
that's how transcendent that game is.
One thing that's crazy is that, like, and I wanted to ask you guys this, but like, so those Ocarina of Time, the reason that I know what that is, like the music, is because it's been sampled in a lot of the hip hop and underground artists that I would listen to. A lot of them would sample that and then just proceed to just spit 16 bars of pure fire over it. And so, like, I actually didn't know like that was from Zelda for a while. I only knew it from a song. I knew that they used a sample, but I didn't know where it was from, right? But I had heard this melody that I was always like, this is peak, like W rapper for sampling this, but I never knew like where it was from. Literally until like maybe 2 years ago is when it was like, oh, that's from a Zelda game. So I'm curious, like, because for me, when I hear those notes, I go back to like, you know, that song. But obviously when you guys heard those notes, it's a much different reaction than I would have. So I'm curious, like, what do you remember most about that melody?
Damn, dude, that is a really poignant question. It's not just that melody for me. When I hear those 3 notes, my brain fills in the rest immediately.
Yep.
And all of the other instruments that go around it. So it's not just Koji Kondo's little ditty that he wrote. It's this massive library of Zelda music from that soundtrack that floods into my brain, right? So one of the things I posted this link in the chat. I hope you guys can see it. I hope my bot didn't strip it out or anything. There's a YouTube guy, and he's a multi-instrumentalist. Him and a buddy, they did the Ocarina of Time soundtrack as like a prog rock, prog metal song. It's like 17 minutes long. It's really, really amazing. But when I listen to that now, I'm instantly transported back to 30 years ago, right? Yeah. It lights something up in my heart. I truly love that soundtrack. And so when you ask me what I remember most about that, it's not just that song. It's connected to my childhood. It's wild.
Yeah, no, I can maybe even expand on it. Is that feeling? It is the like epitome of what nostalgia does to you, and it's the really like one of the only pieces of I don't want to say the only piece of probably a video game that can transport me the way that a song like that from Ocarina of Time does. And what I mean is when I heard those 3 notes, in my mind, what happens is Devin goes back to being in the Lost Forest. Devin goes back to being in the Kokiri village, right? As the first time when you opened the game up and you're just wandering around, or that time you're like trying to figure out how to get that one stupid rupee that's at the end of that like rope bridge, and you're a child and you're struggling to walk across that stupid thing because you're like, so those 3 notes, that's what it does. Is it like immediately like it brought me back there, like visually, like in my mind, immediately I was back in that same feeling as whenever I first walked up to the Deku tree, and it was like, whoa, what is this thing? That's what it does. Those 3, and it does that, and it cascades across the entire game, because there's moments like that in the entire Ocarina of Time series, or that game, like throughout the campaign. The first time like you encounter Ganon in your dreams, right? You're like that opening sequence when
it's scary,
dude. It's horrifying. Like as a kid, I was like, oh my god, this guy is evil, and he's like he's just doing things like. So there's just all of those like really peak moments within the game. And what's crazy is you look back at that now, and it doesn't change much. Like when the replayability of a game like that has truly stood, without much pun intended, the test of time, and has been able to although there's like quality of life, like we figured out how to make movement in a game feel smoother and better, like combat, to maybe tweak it and make it feel a little bit nicer. But there's something that has stood the test of time in Ocarina of Time, like that's so special. It's easy to go back and play, and it's not like this game that is like I when my wife and I were still dating, she, as I guess a kind gesture of her love to me, decided to play Ocarina of Time. Like I got her set up with like an emulator and to play Ocarina of Time, and it's not a hard game to pick up. It's a simple introduction into video games. There's puzzles to solve. There's combat to be had. There's all sorts of little characters, and it's even beautiful. Like it even has like this like aesthetic to it it's still beautiful. Maybe not as graphically intensive as other things, but you can still look at it in the same way like a Valheim does a really good job at saying, hey, I'm not the most graphically looking game, but I'm a very beautifully graphical game. I think they did that in Ocarina of Time, in the original copy really, really well. So
yeah,
anyway.
I agree with that 100%.
All of that comes from the 3 notes, dude.
Yeah, these 3 notes, man, they do something. There's something special about Koji Kondo's writing ability when it comes to both the Mario and Zelda world soundtracks that he's masterfully crafted. And it's really funny. The way you talk about the graphics of that game, they're like rock solid in my head. Like what I mean by that is I don't have hazy memories of Zelda. I played the ever-loving pants off of that game, okay?
Yeah.
So like it's when I think of those notes and I'm transported back to the Lost Woods and Kokiri Forest and all of those places, I can actually like play back the game in my head.
Yes.
All of these little vignettes.
Yes.
Because they're also they all have such character. And that is such a stark contrast to games these days where everything is as hyper realistic as it can be. It has no soul or character. It's like, okay, well, that looks like the real world, but it doesn't have like a style. You know what I'm saying? There's too many games these days that we play that are putting so much effort into, oh, look, they have freckles. Your fingernails grow. Your every eyelash is rendered. Like, who cares? I want a stylistic game. And one of the peaks of style is the Zelda series in general, but none more so than Ocarina of Time. Some would maybe argue the Twilight Princess has an incredible style as well. But that Ocarina style, that artistic vision that they put together as a team is second to none in the series, in my opinion. I think I used to say it's the greatest video game of all time until I played Bloodborne, but that's purely a taste thing more than anything else. And I really like, Devin, you mentioned it not being hard to pick up. It really is a great instructional game. It teaches you how to play it very quickly and easily. And it even does quality of life things that you wouldn't expect. I remember vividly thinking, how do I jump? And then realizing just moments after that, oh, I don't need to jump. It's going to do that for me when it's time. So there's some QOL stuff that they were already kind of ahead of the curve when they were putting it together.
Yeah.
It's a loaded question there, John.
Hey, no, great answers. But no, it's so cool. Like, even I knew the weight of those 3 notes.
Absolutely. Devin, what's your favorite area in Ocarina of Time? Everybody has one that speaks to them, and it's probably because of a soundtrack, I imagine.
Yeah. I definitely have heavy nostalgia for
Tough one,
And
huh?
that is really hard. So there's like immediately I always go back to the Kokiri village simply because you started there, and especially when I was younger, I struggled to like complete everything. So I ended up spending a lot of time there.
Okay.
Just because, like, I'm just like, well, the game came out before I was born. So by the time I picked it up, like I'm barely holding controllers at this point. So like I just was playing the game. And so you kind of start the game and you're like struggling to get the shield because I couldn't get enough coins. Like that was the rupees were difficult for me to gather. Like I said, I struggled getting that coin at the end of the little rope bridge. Because I couldn't keep the joystick in the right direction, or things like that. So that's probably where I've spent probably the most amount of time in Ocarina of Time. So maybe I lean into to that as an easy answer.
I gotta go with the Gerudo Valley area.
Yeah,
I think the desert and the nomad people that are there, the Gerudo peoples, but the soundtrack there is a flamenco style soundtrack, and I hadn't up to that point I didn't really talk about music in terms of genres. I was 10, for God's sake. I liked whatever my dad put on. But when I heard the Gerudo Valley soundtrack for the first time, I was like, oh, this is music. Got it. This is what music can be. And there's just something about the construction of that particular song that, man, you put it on any cover of that song on YouTube, because there's a million of them, and they're all amazing. Every one of them. Yeah. Because that song itself, in and of itself, is amazing.
Yes.
And that desert that you go into just past the Gerudo Valley was always really cool to me, because like,
yes,
it's like getting lost and you can't go off too far to the left or the right because you'll get all lost, and then it's almost weird in a way, like the frigid outskirts in Dark Souls 2. It's grander than you think it is, and in that it's kind of scary and daunting maybe. So I don't know, man. That area is superb. John, I can't wait for you to play Ocarina of Time. Are you gonna get a Switch 2 for this thing? Maybe. Maybe.
There is an upcoming change to my situation, so maybe, possibly, perhaps.
That might be something to treat yourself for your new life shift. We'll call it.
Sure. Yeah, maybe. I mean, so honestly, there have been rumblings about a new Smash. Smash Ultimate.
Dude, can he do it again? Do you think he has the energy to do it again? What's that guy's name? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Jamie, look that shit up.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you his name, but there were rumblings before Nintendo did their showcase where Ocarina of Time was unveiled about a possible new Smash game.
Masahiro Sakurai.
Yeah.
Masahiro Sakurai, of the people. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Of the people that put their heart and soul into games, Shigeru Miyamoto is up there, and Masahiro Sakurai is also up there, among others. Hideo Kojima, Hidetaka Miyazaki. But man, when he puts his heart and soul into a game, it like damn near destroys him. So if you're talking about a new Smash, God be with this man.
Yeah, and it's pure rumblings, nothing confirmed, as
cross our fingers
as things happen.
Sure.
But I don't know, bro. Like, and also the Nintendo Sports is peak. Like, I don't know if you've had an opportunity to play Nintendo. My buddy Julian Regal in the chat, he has a Switch too, and we got to play the sports. What a time that was. Took me back to Wii Sports.
Yes. Dang, dude.
Yeah,
Wii Sports
it was pretty awesome.
Is a good callback too, because Wii Sports rocks the house. you know?
Yes, and
Anybody,
it was done so
literally
well.
anybody can pick it up and play it and have a good time with it.
Yes,
It's so,
and
it's like right in the pocket.
And Nathan, it felt so good. Like the controllers, the haptic feedback, the inputs, like it felt good. Like I was playing, me and Devin were bowling, and it was peak. It was peak.
Sounds peak.
It was
Like
good.
what else? We did volleyball, we did tennis, and it was a ton of fun. Like it was really, I hadn't done that in a while, where it's like you clear up space in your living room, like you push a couch
Yes.
to the side
Yes.
of the room, like you know, you make the space nice and big so that you can place, you know, whatever. And it was a lot of fun, and like to be able to do that just with the fam would be a real cool blast. So
Yes.
maybe, you know, with Ocarina of Time, I would like to replay, or not, excuse me, replay, but to play a Zelda game, especially if it's the Zelda, you know, in Ocarina of Time. So maybe it's definitely on the radar, at the
Sweet.
very least. It is. And also the Switch 2 can run Cyberpunk. I don't know how well, but it can run it.
You
And
know,
I'm
there's something
interested in
fun
that.
about playing even a game you've already played before. Like you could pick up the tarnished edition of Elden Ring and play that on it too. And
Yes.
I mean, as time goes on, I really love and hate new consoles. New consoles mean new things, but it never fails. And every company is guilty of this. They put out a console, there's nothing to do with it. As of late, with like, you know, the Series X, the PlayStation 5,
Dude, yeah.
even when the Switch came out, there was some stuff to play on it like that was new, but it was a lot of like older catalog stuff too. So you had to wait a little bit for almost all these new consoles. But the flip side of that is over time, it becomes a more and more solid proposition to get one, whatever console it happens to be.
Yeah,
And
I
the
mean, there
Switch
was a
2 is
big,
looking better and better.
it is. And there was a big meme, like, to speak to that point. Like, there's a big meme when the PS5 came out, and even still to this day, like, there's like no PS5 games.
To this day, yeah.
There's almost none. Like, there's no like just PS5 games.
I think that's going to start turning around soon because Sony recently just pulled its catalog from the PC. I don't know if you guys know about that, but
I saw
Sony
that.
kind of ejected its catalog and went back to a little more of a closed walled garden, so to speak.
Everyone's doing it. It's to keep consoles alive, man. They got screwed over by the PC world, man. It was like the Xbox Direct that happened on the 7th. They announced the Gears of War E-Day, and Gears of War E-Day, dude, man, looks amazing. Fantastic Gears game, but it's going to be Xbox exclusive, not even PC.
Whoa.
Xbox console exclusive. Yeah. And they're doing it to drive. They're driving traffic to. Why would I purchase the Xbox if I already have the PC that can run your game and you're just going to give it to me there? Then how can I sell your console, or how can you sell your console? Because computers are getting really, really good, and I guess are getting more optimized to be able to play some of these games. And so people are just satisfied, and they just don't have to buy a new console. So how do you?
One thing,
I mean, how has Nintendo done it? Right? I think we've talked about this, where I said
they've been a walled garden the whole time.
Yeah,
exactly.
They haven't
Nintendo has done it successfully
at all.
You want to play Mario? You want to play Zelda? You want to play Pokemon? All three of those, they're gated behind Nintendo every time.
Get a Nintendo, and if you try to emulate and we find out, we will arrest you.
Yeah,
insane.
That's illegal, apparently.
Dude,
insane.
But one thing I will say, like going back to Xbox real quick, I have to say, the new CEO, I think her name is like Asha
something.
She has been making, in my opinion, the right moves. I think.
You think so?
Off of, I think so.
Explain yourself.
All right, I will.
Sharma is her last name, by the way. Asha Sharma.
Asha Sharma, yeah. I knew Asha was in there. So going off of the previous Xbox CEO and the direction that was heading in, the direction that she's taking, as far as, you know, she was a part of that decision, you know, to make an actual Xbox exclusive for once. You know, I think it's a smart play. I think it's smart too because everybody abandoned Xbox. You look at
True.
Xbox console sales, nobody's buying it because why would you? Why would you spend $500, $600 on a console when you could take that $500, $600, buy a PC, play even more games, and play the games that you would have access to on the console? Why would you?
True.
Save your half a grand, save up another one, buy a PC, and you're done. Any game you could get on the Xbox, you will access on the PC. And Sony, I mean, your biggest competitor is doing it. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just business sense.
It's free money. It's free money. Pick up the free
literally
money.
free money. So like, I at the very least appreciate that because, I mean, at the very least, it goes to show that they're not backing away from Sony. And sure, the console war ended, right? But that doesn't mean you have to stop competing. So,
True.
competition is always good for any business. So I hope that she makes Xbox competitive because at the end of the day, it's going to be better for all of us as gamers.
Yeah, because competition just isn't good for business. Competition is good for the end user. The consumer benefits.
It benefits us.
Yeah.
Every time. Every time.
Does it maybe benefit the user more to have their library available on a PC? Possibly. But if you're going to offer me a $500 console that I don't have to maintain and can guarantee that all of those games are going to play properly and I don't have to worry about what does RAM cost, what does hard drive cost, I don't even know how to install RAM. There's a barrier to entry. There's a technical barrier to entry on having a PC in general because you're kind of like silver plattering it as far as the operating system goes on a console. Now, I don't have to worry about whether or not PlayStation's OS is going to work. It better work. I spent $500 on this thing or whatever, and they're going to guarantee that it works, you know? Whereas Windows might flip out, not run your thing correctly. You might have the wrong graphics card. Like, for example, I bought Nier Automata. Great game, by the way. I bought that on, this must have been, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I bought it on PC, and I had an NVIDIA 780 Ti. Great graphics card. Nothing wrong with it. Ran like a dream, but would crash every 20 minutes. And I dug into it a little more. Turns out NVIDIA graphics cards just do that with Nier, and they weren't going to fix it. So I was SOL, and there was nothing I could do about it with the exception of refunding the game, which I did. Thank God. Thank God for Steam's refund policy.
Yeah.
So then I picked it up on PlayStation, played it there, no problem. Finished that game 60 hours into it. Played Nier Automata, by the way. Super duper good. I think we've talked about it on the podcast before. So good. The soundtrack's incredible.
Dude, like spending $500 for, spending $500 for a system that's going to run a game at 4K at 120 frames. Hello?
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
deal of the century, yeah?
What more do you need?
Yeah.
What more do you need? So, I think that consoles are good for gamers. I think that PC, I agree with the technical kind of hoops you have to jump with PC because you do have to maintain it, you know. Like I have friends, I can count on two hands the times that I have had to tell friends of mine that have PCs that are non-technical that you have to update your graphics card drivers.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I have had to help people turn on XMP. I've had to help people make sure that their monitor is running at the refresh rate it needs to be. You know, like there's things that if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So it's 100%. Like, but I can plug in my PlayStation to my TV and play Cyberpunk at 4K 60 frames.
No problem.
No, good. No problem.
And that's not a slight against anybody who doesn't know that stuff.
No,
not even a little bit.
You don't have to. I know because it's my job.
You don't need to know that. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Or maybe you're just inclined to tinker with stuff. People who like to tinker like PCs because you can customize it that way. But some people just want to pick up and play the fucking game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm here for that. I get it because since day one, what did we say on the opening episode of this podcast? We just want to play cool games, bro. That's it.
it.
That's it. That's the bottom line. And if Asha's going to make decisions like this that help Xbox become competitive and potentially, hopefully, cross your fingers, maybe drive some prices down due to that competitive nature of said business, I'm here for it. That's fine. And I'm not fully aware of her stance on like AI and this, that, and the other. But if she's going to start off, if she's going to start off making those types of decisions that the CEO of Xbox should have been making from the get-go and pivot away from a potentially disastrous direction for the entirety of Xbox, go for it. Let's see what happens. You know,
bro, because
so her stance, to elaborate on the AI situation, because I think you'll appreciate it, is she said AI doesn't have a place in Xbox other than for graphics rendering. She said they stripped everything out of the Xbox that was going to be AI add-on. This,
guys, does she listen to this podcast? She might.
I don't know.
I think she does.
I don't know, but I think
we swayed it.
I think we sway the entire industry constantly.
I think 100%. They're listening, guys. They're listening.
No question.
This is the most important gaming podcast on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, then I guess I better apologize to Jeff Keighley. I think I might have said some negative things about Jeff Keighley, and I dug into it, like, some of the things that he's done and said in the past for the games industry, and I apologize, Jeff. Sorry, bro.
So one person that I'm not going to apologize to is the previous Xbox CEO, who is an actual bot, and I truly have no idea like how he got his job, because he hates video games and hates gamers. I would just like to tap the sign one more time and just reread his quote. I see the commentary that if you build great games, everything will turn around. It's just not true. If we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're gonna see console share shift in some dramatic way. It's just not true. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation, where everybody built a digital library of games. When you go and you're building on Xbox, we want our Xbox community to feel awesome by not making great games, going back to its previous point, by the way. But this idea that if we just focused more on great games on our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race, doesn't really lay into the reality of most people.
Disconnected. Complete disconnection from the pulse of what gamers want. Video game players are absolutely asking for that. All the time they're asking for that. In various ways.
The way he even refers to it, this idea.
Yeah, as if it's like
where did it come from?
Who knows? Some chatterhead said good games.
Yeah, who was that?
Like this idea of making great games winning us the console war is just not real. Really?
Yeah, like, literally her first move was, hey, let's make Gears exclusive.
Let's make good exclusive Xbox games.
Yeah. Dub.
I don't
like enough said.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah, there's a tone deafness. By the way, I'm going to call him out. Phil Spencer. Phil, you suck, dude. You're not even listening. You're not even listening. And then yeah. It's like embarrassing. It's not just like offensive to gamers. Like, we truly aren't listening. It's laughable. It's a joke.
Laughable. It's laughable, bro.
Let's see. And I think it might have been, we have a product for you. It's called Xbox. I'm going to verify that this was actually Phil Spencer who said this. Oh, it's Don Matrick. I'm going to shout out Don Matrick for being an asshat too. Don Matrick's quote says, we know that people around the world don't always have reliable internet. Fortunately, we have a product for people who don't have that. It's called Xbox 360. That is some serious. That was
what an asshole, dude.
That's when the one was coming out.
He said,
"It's just
thankfully
how did
we
these
have
guys
a product for that."
How did these guys get in those positions And then who allowed them to say that out loud on a microphone? What on earth were they thinking? It truly highlights not just their tone deafness on what gamers want, but also their attitude towards what they think about their audience. They hate you. They don't like you. What they want to see is increased revenue. That's all they care about. And we haven't heard anything like that from Asha at this point. All we've heard is we're ripping AI out and making it so that it's only graphics rendering that's affected by it. And also we're wanting to be competitive again.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
I mean, wow. Like
2 for 2.
Dude, it's bot, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, bro. It's just it's so shameless. Like, the CEO of you're the CEO of Xbox.
Arguably the most prominent
of Xbox.
You could argue that Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, any one of these can be argued as the most prominent name in video games. And you said something like that. Hey, what's that funny taste in my mouth? Oh yeah, it's my foot. God dang, dude.
Man.
Well, dude, let's not dwell too much on Phil Spencer because it's making me depressed.
Yeah, no, we can ignore. But I was gonna say something else about Asha. If I'm not remembering correctly, Devin, I believe it was your buddy that was your buddy River that was talking about her putting pressure on Todd Howard. Am I mistaking that?
No, you're not. She
really
actually yes for Elder
fill me
6.
in. Todd Howard 6. Todd Howard needs a little course correction, I think.
He needs a kick in the butt. He needs a kick
in
the butt.
So I'm being polite because he's my Fallout guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was specifically the pressure, I believe, was on Bethesda for pushing faster releases of the Elder Scrolls Fallout series and one other title I can't remember. But there's one other like major title series that was a part of that. But basically, Bethesda, get off your ass, like get to work, because they literally said it's going to be one of Xbox's top priorities to make sure that these games are starting to get released in a fast manner. Like this is going to be a top priority. But
you're touching on a subject I want to talk about actually, and that is. Why I don't want to derail if you had other things to say.
No, you're good.
Oh okay. Yeah, that was all I wanted to bring up because I know that she was putting pressure on the studios they're partnered with to release
just another dub.
Quickly.
I love
it. It's another dub on her end.
This is sort of a tightly packed, dense subject I'm about to bring up, but there are 4 studios that are closing, and they're big names. It's not the Arcane you're thinking of. It's not Arcane League of Legends, right? Arcane Studios is League of Legends, right?
Riot.
Riot.
What the heck is Arcane Studios? It must be the same one then.
No, Arcane is a show that is a League of Legends show.
That's why I'm thinking
that might be where the mix of it is. But yeah.
I think it's Arcana, right? Or
it's Arcane. Yeah, the show's.
Oh, it is Arcane.
Okay. Well, not to be confused with the show, but there is a studio called Arcane Studios. They did a game called Redfall. The last number that I'm seeing was all-time peak high of 6,000 players with a current player count of 10. That studio is shuttering. Compulsion Games, which made We Happy Few and South of Midnight, they're shuttering. Those 2 games have a current player count of 34 and 65, respectively. Double Fine, which is a really big... I can't believe Double Fine is shutting, as a matter of fact. They actually did the remaster of... Grim Fandango and Ninja Theory. They are all 4 of these studios are shutting down, and I bring this up because it's sad, but also they did this to themselves. By the way, Ninja Theory's most recent is Senua's Sacrifice. I don't know if you saw that that game. It's sort of like kind of Devil May Cry-ish and addressed like some mental health kind of themes in the story. It was really interesting, but I mean, I don't know. Not enough players, I guess. And then some other game called Bleeding Edge that literally says players right now, 1. So these 4 studios are shutting down, and there's going to be a lot of job loss from it. But I think what we're seeing right now in that is a collapse that was inevitable.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pick out a particular game that I watched the trailer for, and my wife watched the trailer for. Both of us thought, well, that looks interesting as hell. It's the South of Midnight trailer that we watched. That game reportedly costed $100 million to make.
What the?
Whoa.
$100 million they spent on this game. And then it took them 7 years to make it. So 7 years of people toiling away making this game. But after having looked at actual game footage and seeing what the game was presenting as its, what you do in the game, the mechanics, it's not special in any way. It's not interesting. It's not even like top in its class of that type of platform action sort of game. It has a neat story, but ultimately it didn't make back its money. It lost money. So you have these 4 studios making these games that are A, nothing special, and B, not what the game audience wants. And so now all these jobs are going to be lost. Where's the silver lining? The silver lining is that studios will close, but talent will find a place always. True talent, true necessary talent. And I call it necessary talent because I'm of the opinion that studios are way too overbloated with people.
Yes.
In general.
Yes.
And you can know this by looking at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which reportedly cost around $10 million to make, a fraction of the number,
dude,
and came out faster. So let fewer people with a more focused vision, something more interesting, what gamers are asking for, came out in a fraction of the time and a fraction of the cost and sold better than South of Midnight. So the cards are on the table, guys. Like, I'm sorry, you got to let some of these people go. They're wasting your money and your time. You need to find true, good, innovative talent and collect those 20 to 50 people in a studio, max. Because at the end of the day, we were just talking about this at the beginning of the thing. We don't need every eyelash rendered, every pore to sweat. We're not looking for that. We're looking for fun games. Whether that is the most simple thing, like an Undertale style flat NES graphics, or a Ocarina of Time. Hell, you could even give me something that's semi-realistic, like a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or a Baldur's Gate 3, something like that. Baldur's Gate 3 might not be a great example because it's also a really big studio, but it was something that gamers wanted, so they at least were listening there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You gotta do one thing correct. Right. And if you have an overbloated budget, an overbloated studio, a too long of a timeline, and you're making something that nobody's going to fucking buy in the first place, you deserve to get shut down. I don't have any sympathy for any of those studios. They did it to themselves because they weren't listening and they weren't doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get off my soapbox about that.
Well, I mean, it's just a competitive space. I mean, True. Everything really is, but the idea that you can just release something and expect a what is considered maybe the bare minimum to then do well in a space where everyone has the choice whether or not to play your game. You know what I mean? Like, we're not forced to partake of this game. This is something that is extra in our life, and you're asking me to go do, like, no, I don't want to watch the mediocre movie. I would rather spend my time watching the really, really good movie. Why would I ever go to, like, unless I'm out of things to do, which that's not possible in the gaming space at this time. So
golly, like, that's never been more true. Oh my gosh.
No. Yeah. I mean, maybe back in the day you would be like, oh, I only have like 3 games at the house. I guess I'll play this one because I played the hell out of the other 2. But it's not that anymore. I have a library of over like 250 games or something ridiculous just on my Steam that I can play. And yeah, you can't go baseline. You can't go the bare minimum. If that's the mark that you even made, you're not gonna. No one wants to play your game. That's what happens with oh man, there's been so many examples of that where they release these games, they flop, they close down within 30, 60 days, 90 days, maybe 6 months. They're gone. Player base was barely even there to start with. Everyone's like, oh, what is this? And then they leave.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad you brought up this point, Nathan, because circling back to previous episode, a big example of this. So I sent a picture in our Discord of the cube for God of War.
Trying to work in a joke about Frank,
dude. So
I was trying to work in a joke about Frank the Cube.
So look, speaking of studios spending a buttload of money on games for absolutely no reason.
Oh my god!
Tell me why on earth? Why on earth? There is Jack Quaid, who is the voice actor for Frank, in mocap. Why are they motion capturing Jack Quaid as this cube? And the thing is that now you have to take into consideration the fact that Jack Quaid is a high-level actor. If you're not familiar with him on the show The Boys, that has done very well on Amazon Prime, he is a very integral main character on that show. So it's like, I wonder what you're paying this guy to sit in a studio all day and have a PVC cube, or I guess, cube strapped to him, reading lines all day. And because it's like, again, one, why did you decide to go with an actor for a cube?
Yeah, how many voice actors that are not Jack Quaid are clamoring for work and are also going to do as good of a job, if not better, for Frank?
And on top of that, you're mocapping him. You're mocapping him.
It's insanity. It's insanity.
Like, talk about an utter waste of money, because not only now, right? You are now, that is now another asset that your team is going to have to render, digitize. Like, it adds a whole nother layer to Frank the Cube. And to know that a good chunk of money for the new God of War is going into that. Wow. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I have no words, truly. I don't know what to say about it. But like, speaking to your point, it does not take millions upon millions of dollars to make a good game. Unless you're Rockstar, what are you doing?
Kind of, yeah.
Sorry, but like, unless you're Rockstar, stop it. You're not that guy. You're not
the guy.
Sorry,
that's so accurate.
You don't get to do that. You don't get to. Rockstar does. They earned it. They get to do stuff like that. You don't. You don't, bro. Like,
Rockstar isn't putting Frank the Cube in their games. Okay.
No. Rockstar is
they're building an Arthur Morgan, and you're over here farting around with cubes.
Right. And
that you're mocapping, no less.
Yes. And I think this might be a good pivot. We did get some GTA 6 news today.
Hold on, before we move on, I can tell you why this is happening.
Please tell me, what do you think about this, Nathan? What do you think about this, Devin? Look at this guy. And look at him. Bro's having the time of his life.
I'm going to paint
me off.
Sure.
He's a freaking
I'm going to try my best to connect these dots, because it's kind of nebulous in my head, but I get it. So ride with me for a second. The cause of all this is Game Pass. That's what's causing all of this.
You think it's Game Pass?
Here's why. Because Game Pass guarantees a certain number of dollars that a game studio is going to be shelling out their game to. And so maybe Jack Quaid and his mocap cube are not exactly the direct result of this, but it's one of the direct results. Because you have game studios now that are allowed, because of Game Pass, because their product is going to be put on the shelf alongside all these other things that you can just download for your monthly service charge. They are being allowed to make mediocre shit. And because they're being allowed to make slop to put on this store, other game studios are going, well, we can just put a cube in the game. That's fine.
Let's name him Frank.
Let's call him Frank Quay. And let's get Jack Quaid. Everybody loves Jack Quaid. I'll tell you, the people who love Jack Quaid, they're not buying your game. Sorry. That's not the draw.
Correct.
No.
You tell me Nolan North is going to voice the cube? We're talking. Troy Baker. Okay. You're speaking my language now. The voice actors that are already in that space. You don't need to get movie stars to do your stuff. And Game Pass has allowed so many garbage games that could have been great. South of Midnight could have been cool, but it just wasn't. And because they were able to get on Game Pass, they were allowed to spend $100 million on what is effectively a less than mediocre Zelda type game.
So do you think that's the fault of the way that the Game Pass style system works, or is it just a fundamental flaw with the subscription Game Pass service?
I think it's the second part. I think it's the latter, because
that's not going away anytime soon. Unfortunately, that's just
unfortunately no. You're not wrong, and man, it's such a double-edged sword. Do I want to drop $30 a month to play unlimited games, quote unquote? Maybe. And that man, on paper it sounds good.
It sounds like a great deal on paper.
But then when you load up the library, why do I find myself scrolling through the whole thing going like, no, not that, no, boring, dude, no, looks stupid.
You know what? I can speak to this a little bit because I remember, I started my gaming journey on Xbox fairly late into my childhood. Me and David, we got our Xbox. I want to say I was in 8th grade. David was in 6th grade. Prior to that, we had a Wii. But I remember when Game Pass came out on the Xbox One. Like I remember talking to my mom and being like, "Hey, Mom, you know how anytime we go to Walmart, me and David beg you to go look at games? We don't have to anymore. If you pay." Back then, I was like, if you pay $15 a month, we can access all the games we want to play without needing a disc. Like, I remember sitting down and being like, Mom, what do me and David have to do for you to pay for Xbox Game Pass? Like, I remember like having that conversation with my mom. And then I remember, we had to do like a bunch of chores, which is fine, whatever. But I remember
gotta clean the house after all.
That's right.
But I remember that moment of after my mom entered in her card information into our Xbox. I remember seeing now what I could do. I remember playing. Yeah, David, look, my brother just typed in chat, Game Pass was peak. Because I got to play Dark Souls 3 from Game Pass. I got to play games that I never would have been able to touch without Game Pass. And I remember the feeling of looking through everything and being like, oh my God, I wish I had more storage so I could download all of these games. Like, I remember that feeling of now seeing this full catalog of just games that I can just play because I paid the entry fee. Well, I didn't. My mom paid the entry fee of $15. And back then, I mean, this was in like probably 2015, 2014. So $15 is a good chunk of change, I'd say, in back in those times. And bro, I got to play so many games that I never would have been able to play because I would have had to hope that they were at GameStop or at Walmart, and then hope that my mom was in a good enough mood to where she'd buy it for me. Game Pass enabled that for me. I think that it got out of hand when they established tiers. Like when because I remember it was just Game Pass. Like you just had it, you were good, you could access whatever. But now you have these different tiers. Like there's 4 tiers, 4 tiers of Game Pass now.
The scales have tipped.
They tipped what was a beautiful product, what was a beautiful way for somebody like me and my brother to play whatever game they wanted to for a monthly charge, turned into, in my opinion, a bit of a predatory way to make you
suits can never have enough.
Yes, they can't.
Oh my God.
Because you look at the Game Pass tiers now, right? And it's like, do I want to pay $10 and only access X amount of games? Or do I pay a full $30 and I can access everything? Plus I can do cloud gaming, plus I can do all this other stuff, plus da-da-da-da-da. It's like, now you have to make that decision, and you're signing up to pay recurring revenue. You're giving them recurring revenue. They don't even have to do anything. They just have to have you pay for it. They have to have you put a game in. They have to have you see a game where you're like, I don't want to pay $70 for this game, but I can pay $20 for 2 months, and that's $40, and I have 2 months access to this game, and I can beat it real quick. Oh, what do you know? This other game that's also $70 came out, and I have access to it because of the $20 a month I'm paying for. And the cycle repeats. And you're in. You're in at that point. So what are you going to do? You're going to cancel it and buy all of those games outright?
Nope.
You're not.
Well, you're going to, and so that's the dark side of Game Pass.
Yes, that's the dark side of it. Is now it's like, dang, I want to play all these games, but I don't want to pay a full $70 for each of these individual games. I'm going to keep paying this $20 a month so that I can access all of them.
You own nothing.
And you will be happy.
Yeah. It is the dread realization when you disable your Game Pass or PlayStation Plus membership. I've already done that. I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore.
Yeah, I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore either.
I some days I think about it, but also like my Steam library's jam-packed full of stuff. It's fine. I can just as easily not go without it. And the dark side is like once you pull that plug, all of your fun games are now inaccessible. You never owned it in the first place.
You never owned it. And that's where they got you.
It's like the difference between, on a more massive scale, buying a house and renting a house. Your mortgage cost and your rent cost are roughly the same, depending on your, how you landed. But the rent cost is going nowhere. And the mortgage cost at the end of your 30-year term or a 20-year term or whatever you signed, you own your house. You have a thing. So that is the dark side of Game Pass. And I noticed, by the way, Hollow, I saw your wee joke. That's pretty funny. Man, why then does Game Pass sound like a good thing on paper, and then when in execution it's so poor? That's it. The dark side will come around at some point.
Yeah, it'll rear its naked head at you, because then you look back and then you realize, dang, I've spent $200 this year on just Game Pass, and then it's like, well, I played 5 games that were worth $70, and it's like, if I had bought those games outright, I would have spent more money on the games than I would have just continuing this subscription. So it's
however, my argument there is games don't stay $70.
They don't.
They don't. They go down to 10. They go down to 20. They go down to 30. And even some of the games that are outside of that ecosystem, they don't even start at $70. Some of the best games I've played are $10, $20. Silk Song was $20, and it's incredible, top to bottom.
There's this like moment that I had while in my gaming life that there's few games that there's an exception to, and we already discussed one of them. But turns out playing the game that released a year and a half ago for the first time is still playing the game for the first time.
Yes, sir.
So
100%.
Except you get it on a 50% discount. So like, I don't know, like that realization happened at some point in my life. And I was like, wow, I don't have to be like overly hyped for this new release game. And I have to buy it day one because it's the new hot game. Like you don't have to do that. Like there's few reasons to do that. Right. One is, it's Ocarina of Time, so you just make the exception and just do it.
Do it. Just buy it.
Stop thinking with your head and just throw your card at it. Throw your wallet.
There's my card
at. But maybe hey, your friends are all wanting to play this game that's new release, and like you don't want to not be a part of that like multiplayer experience on release, because that is one thing that is extremely exciting is a multiplayer released game. But there is like
It's like the one exception to the argument is a big multiplayer game.
Yes. And genuinely, if I didn't have such insanely strong ties to the Ocarina of Time game or the Zelda series in general, then I probably would do the same thing with that. I'm going to do the same thing with that for like the Star Fox 64. If that ever dips, I'll probably buy it. If not, I may or may not buy it for a while. Like it just is what it is. I'm not going to die over getting that game. I love that game. I have tons of nostalgia with that game. I played the crap out of that game with my brother, Star Fox 64. But it's going to be the same game whenever I get it a year later. So
same game.
As long as it's not one of those things where there's an experience that you're missing out based on the timing of the release of the game, then there's no reason to kind of rush into that. And especially with these big titles, big studios, get them on sale. Maybe the smaller studios, I've heard, hey, like if you can do it, pay full price for the smaller studio games, helps them a ton.
The dollars go a lot longer.
Yeah, I can understand that and I can appreciate that. Like, hey, it's smaller studio, buy full price.
Smaller studio.
Yeah. Take a look at Schedule 1. Schedule 1 was nothing. It was one guy.
Yeah.
And I dropped $20 on it, and now the guy is opening his own studio. He hired people. He's going somewhere now.
Amazing.
And my $20 went to
that's right
for some time of that person he hired or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel good about that.
Yep. And I think that's where maybe you can kind of draw the line with some of that. But and sure, I mean, still get them on sale. If they're the ones putting it on sale anyway. It's not anyone else. But
sure.
That all being said, like, man, the hype of purchasing day one doesn't have to be there. And that, to your point, Nathan, is you can do if you spent the $30 on a game on sale every single month from a year or two ago that you haven't played yet, play that game, be the person on the last generation console still enjoying all of the games you still haven't played because there's so many you can't possibly do it.
Yeah,
you're going to be underneath that cost. Now, if you want top of the line hardware, you want every new release game the day it releases, dude, yeah, Game Pass might be your way to go. And honestly, like computer as a service might be your way to go too, because it can get really, really expensive to want to refresh. I constantly have that battle because I love technology. So I'm like, oh man, I could upgrade it and be like this. And I would be, and then I go, yeah, well, it's playing all my games perfectly fine at a great frame rate. I don't have any issues. So why the hell do I need new stuff? I don't. Yeah. It's that consumerism side.
Yes.
If you can set that aside and just like, I don't know, use your brain instead of like your wallet, dude, it like changes things.
Does
financially.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And the experience doesn't change. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
So there's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just to speak on Devin's point, like it really is like video games are, man, some of the best marketing, like I have to say, because you see a trailer and you're like, oh my gosh, you hear that little do, you know what I mean? Like Devin added a console to his Amazon cart off of those 3 nuts. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, it's tough because even for me, like that Wolverine game,
yeah,
I will be there. Sorry, but like I will be there on launch playing Wolverine, and it's hard because it makes financially, it makes even just in a general sense, it makes more sense to be the guy that waits for the deal, right? But gaming, it moves so fast, right? There's always a new shiny thing to look at, and I'd say 7 out of 10 times the thing that you're looking at looks like peak, so you want to check it out. But as gamers, we do the same thing. We complain about the problem that we put ourselves in, because the reason that studios can do that is because people buy it, people pay for it, people give them their wallet. So why wouldn't they?
Of course, the market bears what the market, or the market, what is it? The market price will be what it can bear, or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, if you want things to change, you have to vote with your wallet.
You have to.
There's truly, and people are. That's the thing. I'm watching the tide shift. 4 studios closed because people voted with their wallets.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Has an impact.
Do better.
I mean, yeah, and because I think, and to Devin's point, what he mentioned about, there are more than enough games out there. There is peak that has yet to be touched, that is just waiting for $5, $10. I purchased Half-Life for $7.
Steal.
Peak, and that's peak fiction. And I purchased it for less than my Torchy's order. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, peak is out there, but you know, it's tough because you do get that one thing that comes across where it just, you're like, man, I gotta get this thing. I gotta get Ocarina of Time. I gotta get that Wolverine game. I gotta get, you know, it's hard because you have the studio, you know, just hamster wheel of like, here's a new AAA game, here's a new AAA game, and then you have
They
here's a
slop.
triple, yeah, and then you have here's a AAA game but peak, and it's like, oh, yeah, let me take a look at that. Like GTA 6, I will be there. I will be there for GTA 6. I'm sorry. I will be purchasing GTA 6 on my PlayStation 5, and I will be playing it because it's GTA 6 and it's Rockstar. Right? There's these different things that release where it's like, man, oh, you just can't help it a little bit. You know, it's like, it's hard. That's just me playing into the argument a little bit more. And it's like studios just dangle that carrot, you know, and sometimes you just can't help but try to get that carrot.
I get that.
Yeah, and
I
that's
totally
where
get that.
going back to Game Pass, it's like, dang, you know, new games release on Game Pass, which I think is nuts, by the way. Like, it's insane to me that you could play the new Call of Duty by spending $15 on Game Pass. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Because it's
bananas.
like, it puts you into that cycle of like, well, you know, this game costs $70. It just came out. I paid 15 and I can play it. I kind of want to keep playing it after this month, but I don't want to spend $70 in one go for this game. So I'm going to keep shelling out this 15. It's the perfect cycle. It's a perfect loop. It's the perfect trap to keep you in some way, shape, or form, because you're either going to spend that $70, you're either going to spend that subscription, or you're just going to have to wait and not play it.
They don't want you to spend your money on the game. They want you to turn into monthly recurring revenue.
Yes,
That's
they
what
would
they
prefer
want.
that, in my opinion, I think.
100%. Because it's a guaranteed, what they'll paint it as, well, if everybody had Game Pass, we would have a guaranteed amount of budget to make new games for you. But what they're doing is hiring Jack Quaid to dance around in a cube box.
In a mocap PVC, yes. In a mocap rig.
That's what they're doing with the money. And I'm sorry, I can't be on that train.
No, that pisses me off. You're right.
And
Tough.
so the people that get preyed on, I think the most are 2 categories. One, normies who are just like that. Oh yeah, a bunch of games for $15, sign me up, and then they never think about it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hate to use that edgy term, sheeple and normies, but for an avid fan of video games, somebody that doesn't just play it because it's there, they truly love the medium, and then they dig into what that Game Pass proposition actually is in the long term, it's not good.
It's predatory.
It's predatory, and the other people that it's predatory on is actually they're kind of one and the same. It's children and people with poor impulse control. Oh, I gotta have that new thing. Well, you're either a child, or you can't just temper your expectations a little bit and not buy it for a while.
Dude, yeah, because I mean, like I said earlier, for me as a kid, Game Pass was the answer. For me, in my situation, me and my brother, Game Pass was the answer to our problem.
Sure.
Like, we were able to play so many games because of Game Pass. And then again, that was when it first came out. That was back when Xbox had hope for humanity and cared about their customers. So, take that with what it is. But at the time, I truly believe that there was good intention behind the Game Pass system.
And I'm not saying that the Game Pass system can't be good. There is probably a reality. There's probably a reality in which a Game Pass, non-tiered Game Pass, that allows you to play a certain number of games that are X number of months old or something like that, where, see what I was alluding to earlier when I said that Game Pass allowed companies to put out trash, is that they were kind of guaranteed this money from the Game Pass coming in to just make something to put on there.
Right.
And if you don't have any skin in the game, if you don't have any risk, you don't have any reason to make something innovative or new or go out on a limb and make something unique.
Why would you?
Guaranteed cash.
You're only incentivized to make the thing that worked in the past.
You do bare minimum. You're now an employee. See, and that's what the studios have become to Game Pass. They're literally an employee of Game Pass. What's the incentive past getting that understood check? Because we can budget off of that, right? We know this is predictable. This is something that we know is going to come in no matter what, as long as we meet, I don't know, just this bare minimum standard of video game. And as long as we can do that, come within budget, hey, success. We made our money. We businessed.
We did it. Look at our bottom line.
We businessed. That's right. That's right. I would rather live in a world in which the game sector fluctuates. Oh, nobody's putting out anything interesting. Oh man, these 3 studios over here did X, Y, and Z. They're completely different ideas from each other, but they're fire. I want to see game studios put their neck on the line for we thought really long and hard about this concept and we made it the best we could. We hope you like it. Because at the end of the day, those people who are willing to go out on a limb with something potentially risky, which AAA studios are wildly averse to, you're not going to get anything interesting. You're not going to get take Undertale, for example. Undertale was made by Toby Fox, who went out on a limb to make something that evoked a specific feeling from his childhood, which is the Earthbound game, that series from Super Nintendo. And he put his blood, sweat, and tears into Undertale. Do you think an Xbox would have ever looked twice at Undertale? They would have looked at it and said, what is this, an NES game? Get out of here with that shit. No, they would never do that. They would never go out on a limb for something like an Undertale. And maybe even a Hollow Knight. Or maybe even a Dead Cells. But those studios, those small studios who are willing to pony up and say, you know what? Let's put our nuts on the table. This is an interesting concept. Let's see it through. Maybe it'll make a splash. And by God, did those games make splashes. Some people will tell you they changed games. There's arguments for that.
Sure did.
But, oh my God. Undertale ushered in some... Dude,
that song is peak. That soundtrack.
It's peak. Dude, oh my God. Listen to, I want everybody, when they get done with this podcast, to go and listen to the song Heartache. It's the soundtrack of when you're fighting Toriel, your effective mother in the game for the first time. It goes hard. Anyway, I could go on and on. That's another soundtrack that is fire. But you would, in a world where everybody is guaranteed a paycheck because these things are coming in, they're not incentivized to do anything risky. And without risk, you can never do anything great. Period. No question.
Yeah. Dude, because, I mean, it used to be, I mean, a studio could go bankrupt if their game didn't succeed.
Yep.
Like, it was not very profit. It was extremely hard to profit making games. And it's like with anything, like, the easier it's made, why would you try?
True. Take a Yacht Club Games, for example. Yacht Club Games is like the other side of what you don't want to do as an indie studio. They put too much heart and soul into Shovel Knight. You know, they effectively made 4 games with Shovel Knight. You got your Shovel of Hope, your Plague of Shadows, the King Knight one, and the Spectre Knight one. Okay, guys, maybe you could have sold those each for $20 a pop. You absolutely could have. $10 maybe. $5 DLC, whatever you want to do.
Did it for the love of the game.
For the love of the game. And
they just did it.
If you want peak something, Shovel Knight is the treasure trove that Shovel Knight's literally called Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. It is jam-packed with content, and it's all good. It's amazing. And now they're actually putting their neck on the line again. Man, my hat's off to Yacht Club. They're putting their butts on the line again for Mina the Hollower, which, by the way, is sitting at 500,000 copies sold right now, and that's just the last report. I hope they hit their $1 million goal, because at $20, that's what? 500,000, 10 million in revenue so far, gross. So hopefully that's helping them stay afloat, and it's paying their bills, and they can keep going, keep living to fight another day in the game area. But I'm not expecting that every game studio will always put their livelihood on the line, but without doing something that is risky, and I say risky, it doesn't have to be monetarily risky per se. It has to be risky as an idea, a Game Boy Color Zelda Bloodborne that's tiptoeing towards risky, is it not?
Yeah.
But you know what they said? They said Mina the Hollower is going to be great, and we're going to make it great. And by God, that game plays awesome. It's so good. Fire. And I don't think we would ever see any of that without when it's tethered to a monthly recurring revenue that they can guarantee come in, because they have to maintain that status quo. They have to maintain the guarantee. So if you go out on a limb, you might fall.
I mean, human nature is to, steer away from danger, and that is naturally what an organization will do in terms of risk for the business. Is let's just go ahead and do the thing that we know for sure, right? Is the least risky. And if you have something that's a sure shot, then there's zero risk. So why would I stick my neck out there, potentially ruin the public image of this entire studio that is bringing in revenue constantly, consistently, just so that we can have a creative win, perhaps, so it's like when you look at it from that, and that's maybe why the way it's configured right now in terms of paying out those studios is just it's not helpful. I think it's the way that I would put it is it's just not helpful for anyone, because that's not long term. Right. When you actually look at the larger picture of that situation, long term, that hurts Game Pass, because in Game Pass, what are you getting? Just subpar. Yeah, you're getting slop games, just subpar games. The studios, you're no longer creating banger games. People are going to slowly taper off of wanting to play your games. There's zero excitement every single time you come out with a new game that's exactly the same as the last year's game. Talking to you, Black Ops or Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed. Oh my God, there's so many of them. It's disgusting. And so then it hurts the studio. And then in the end of the day, when both of those are hurt, we're hurt. And my heart hurts as a gamer.
It's almost an inevitability, Game Pass, the proposition of it, because of the trajectory that it will send games down, the road of mediocrity. It's almost a prophecy that will come true one day, just the way you painted it, a pool full of slop that no one wants to dive into, and the people who are already in it realize they're in the slop, so they get out. And I don't know how you can sustain a Game Pass. It's almost like a catch-22,
Well, I think they already kind of struggle with it to some degree, because that's why prices have gone up. The prices are continually to increase, and I think that's in part it's the same way that every subscription-based model starts. You get your clientele base by a low price entry. Everyone's like, wow, this is such a great deal. Happened with Netflix. eons ago at this point, right?
I was just thinking about that.
Man, it was like $5, I think, when they first started, and it was like, dang, dude,
$27.99 now or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it's insane. And they just slowly hike the price over and over and over until
little by
they get they get the revenue that they need to sustain their business. And I think that's kind of what happened with Game Pass. Is John said it best, is it was the solution to his problem. He saw that that's an affordable monthly cost for a parent to say, hey, my kids can play any game that they want, and it's $15 a month. We can swing that, rather than every so often we do a $60 game or a whatever, something another. Every time we go to the grocery store, they're begging for another game. Sure, I'll do the $15 a month. Great solution, and solve the problem. And then you increase the pricing, and then then the content becomes less good, right? You get more subpar content. I don't know.
Those people become the frogs that are boiling slowly.
Yeah.
And then they're locked in, and it's just
they're
not
cooked.
a good proposition anymore. They're cooked.
Yeah, because then you don't have any games. You don't have a library. You don't have anything.
Yeah. You flushed all that money down the toilet, essentially.
Yep.
Tragic.
Well, I think we've beat that horse to death.
Yes.
And
on that bombshell.
Yeah. On that note, I think at the end of the day, you talked about prices increasing. I'll pivot a little bit to the $70. We keep saying it. It's already embedded in our freaking minds.
Yes, it's already there, bro.
And I can actually tie Jack Quaid back to this. I reject the notion that games need to be that expensive. They don't need to cost $70. I reject that wholesale. You're lying to me. You are wasting your money.
Look,
that's what's going on.
For the record, I just want to say, when I was reiterating John's story and situation, I did say $60 games.
You did. I
did that on purpose.
He did.
So when it comes to something like that, I have to reject that notion wholesale, because we see Jack Quaid in that cube suit, and AAA is being upstaged by AA, which I think is a really goofy term, but it is what it is, by AA studios and indie studios that are making $10, $15 games that are absolute fire, and proving without a shadow of a doubt that you don't need $100 million to make a video game. I'm sorry, it just doesn't cost that much. And frankly, when I watch that money being squandered, it's like watching your tax dollars go to something you don't want it to go to. Like, I don't want to subsidize your poor choices.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you made the decision to hire a movie star and put a PVC cube around him. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm just going to not give you the $7. Yeah, that's not on me. That's on you.
It's not on me, bro.
You could have put that cube on anybody else in the studio and had them like do some moves and maybe mocap that if you really wanted to. But I'm sorry, if y'all can't animate a cube, literally the most basic shape in the 3D realm, if you can't animate a cube to swing a sword because you need the mocap data for it,
like,
you need to hire better talent, dude.
Jiggles. It jiggles, dude.
I hate it.
Stop. But it's Frank. Its name is Frank. It's so
stop
hilarious.
talking about this damn cube.
Dude, I'll still never forget when we put the trailer on, seeing how everybody stopped when the cube was revealed. It was
wild.
So funny, dude.
It's so goofy, man. I don't think I'm gonna ever let that studio live it down.
A cube.
Well, I mean, I guess really all we can do as consumers is buy the games that we truly want to see more of. And, at some point, the studios will learn their damn lesson, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody should follow Rockstar's example.
Yeah, if you're going to...
In my opinion.
How many dollars have they spent on that game? I think it's $1 billion game at this point. And they're absolutely going to make that back.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They're going to make it back. Easily.
That's
what's crazy
to
about
me.
it.
Like, dude, right now GTA 5 is making them. billions of dollars. GTA 5, a game that came out in 2013, is making them stupid amounts
bro.
of money.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so if we pull up those figures here, let's see. So far, up to the through its current lifespan, GTA 5 has generated $10 billion in revenue.
Wow.
For Rockstar Games. $10 billion. A video game. Now, could another studio do something like that? I say yes, but only with the caveat that they put as much effort into the game and cultivate this, I guess, cult of personality is the way that I like to think about GTA. Because GTA, man, when GTA hit the scene, the first two games that were top-down shooters, they were like, you know, way wildly different. And then they pivoted into GTA 3. And man, if there's ever an indication of the health of our society, it's that people want to run around and commit crime. But they tapped into it. They tapped into something that the gaming community wanted to see. And it's like they were listening, you know, they listened and said, oh, okay, y'all want to run around and steal cars and blow stuff up and just do stuff. Sick. Let's do that. And then they iterated and made it better and made it better and made good stories and hooked people in with good writing. Like, say what you will about GTA. You can't say it has bad writing. You can't say Red Dead has bad writing.
The story of GTA 5 is criminally underrated.
I agree. And then on top of that, it feels good to play. It's fun.
Yeah.
So
you want to see what happens.
Can another studio do something that makes such a splash, that makes that much money? Yeah.
I don't think so, man. I disagree.
Well, okay. I'm putting the asterisk on it.
Like, they can, but I don't think the level of effort it would take, I don't think a studio would do it.
Yeah.
Too much of a gamble? Right. Is that why?
Yes. You'd have to, because you would have to go at it with the intention of dethroning Rockstar. That's the only way you could do it. You couldn't go into something like that with the idea of like, oh yeah, you know, let's see if we can make 1 billion. It's like, no. For something of that scale, you have to go for the jugular. And I'm not sure how you could, not to that level, at least.
Yeah. So something that, let me read, am I reading this right? Oh my God, I am. Okay. Well, let me put this in perspective. Something like a God of War or Tomb Raider or an Uncharted, really big names, they sell millions of copies. They don't sell millions of copies like Grand Theft Auto sells millions of copies. I want you two to guess how many millions of copies GTA 5 has sold. Just guess. Throw me a number out there.
Man, at this rate, I mean, it's more than 10 years old. I don't know.
This number is staggering.
5 million.
Okay. Devin?
Five really only I feel like 5 million can't be 5 million. It has to be more. So like, I don't know. There's a lot of gamers out there.
True.
10, 15.
225 million copies of GTA 5 has been sold.
200 million copies.
225 million copies. John, you're right. I think you're right, actually. Can a studio do something like that? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so, dude.
They have been good stewards of the GTA brand in such a way that it's unfathomable by other studios. Now, can a studio make tons of money? Yeah, a Fortnite did. Absolutely. Yes. But that is in a completely different space than GTA is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
so
wow, even like a Skyrim is only at 60 million copies worldwide.
It's a quarter of what Rockstar has done.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2 did 61 million copies.
Oh my God.
That's an insane amount. That's crazy.
That's a crazy number.
Red Dead 2 sold more copies than Skyrim. Think about that.
So I looked up just to see like what has come close to GTA 5 sales.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a couple. There's two here that I'm seeing. Minecraft.
Oh
has
yeah.
sold
Okay, that makes sense.
350 million copies.
Yeah, no doubt. Minecraft is an anomaly in the same vein as GTA 5. It's a cultural touchstone, Minecraft. Same thing with GTA 5. They occupy completely different spaces in people's brains, but they're tapping into something that is like primally what people are asking for. You know, GTA answers the question, what if I was a crime lord? But they do it in such an effective way and with such great storytelling and such great gameplay. And then Minecraft is what if anything. You want to do that? You can build it.
Yeah, like good luck. So I'm seeing this. I don't know how like they would calculate this, but apparently GTA 6 is projected to make $7.6 billion in the first 60 days.
No.
I don't know how you would count. That can't be right.
Say that number again.
7.6 billion. How would you even calculate that? How would you do that?
Because everyone and their mom is going to buy that game. That's why. And they're going to charge $70 or $80 for it. But even then, that's a lot of copies. That's close to 100 million. That's 100 million copies, is it not?
Yeah.
A lot of copies.
Like in 60 days?
I don't know the 7.6 billion is going to be a thing.
A lot. I think it can make $1 billion.
No question. It's going to make its money back. I'm going to toss a number out there and we'll see if I'm right when 60 days is up after release. I'm going to say it's going to get 2.5 billion in 60 days.
Because dude, it's become like it's a meme. Like it's a culture. Like GTA 6 is a culture thing now. Like anytime that something happens, it's like, oh, this happened before GTA 6.
Yeah.
You know, anytime anything like happens, it's like literally I saw, wow, we got an Ocarina of Time remaster before GTA 6. Like I saw that tweet.
Huh.
It's gonna be gone soon though. No more meme about that.
Post GTA 6.
Let's go.
Well, you know what? And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of at a loss for words.
Yeah, like what?
I don't mean to glaze. I don't mean to glaze Rockstar so much.
No, I'm glazing Rockstar, dude.
You a fanboy?
I'm glazing Rockstar, bro.
That's cool. I'm down for that.
Wow.
But hey, whenever GTA 6 does come out, I hope it does gangbusters for them because it looks like they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it. And you know, if GTA 5 is any indication as to the trajectory of what they're going to build, I mean, you sent something to the Discord. There's Vice City in GTA 6. Let's go.
And it looks beautiful.
It looks great, incredible. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Well, guys, I think that's going to actually bring us to a close for our show. So let's kick off the music.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm so glad to be back. I'm glad that you guys were here in chat. Regal, Hollow, David, thanks so much for hanging around and chit-chatting with us. It's always a great time here at the Umbrella Fight Podcast talking about video games. I just want to give you guys a shout out and tell you that you're awesome, you're loved, and what you do matters. It's really important that you guys hear that. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to pick up the phone and I want you to call your mom, call your dad, call your brother, call your sister, call your family, call your friends, because life is too damn short. And I want you to make sure that you let everybody know that you love them. And we love you guys, so we're going to throw up some hearts here for you. Well, hopefully we'll see you next time, next Thursday at 9:30. Peace out.